So now that we've freed up a little bit more motion, now we want to make sure that we're appropriately strengthening within that new motion. We're going to go ahead and kind of start at the toes and then kind of work our way into the ankle a little bit more. So what we want to do is we want to re-find or reestablish our neutral foot. So just like we talked about earlier, we're going to find that spot that's in the middle, not too flat, not too far out, but right in the middle. Now from this spot, we can go ahead and press that big toe into the floor, feel our arch space work. Now we have some options. We could either just hang out right here, or the other thing that I oftentimes have people do is we'll find that neutral foot, firm big toe press, and then we'll start to lean forward into that to help kind of increase the loading into that bottom of the foot. You should feel that working pretty good the more that you lean forward. Now, making sure that we're doing this in a safe environment. So if you're someone who is concerned about fall risk or losing your balance, maybe you do this with the kitchen countertop right in front of you. The first couple times, just test the waters. Go ahead and engage, slightly lean forward, holding that for a good 10, 15, 20 seconds even. As you start to advance, you hold it longer. And then as you feel like, okay, I'm steady, then we can go ahead and start to lean a little bit more and a little bit more forward. Hopefully leaning forward and feeling the foot recruitment, but keeping our heels in contact. So working through here. Now from that position, or sorry, after that sort of activity, we can go ahead and start to transition into heel lifts. So we can go a neutral stance here, big toe recruitment, we have our neutral foot, and then we can start to work on two-legged or two-foot heel lifts, nice and controlled, where we're emphasizing push through the big toe and that side of the foot. We want to avoid being on the outside of our foot. That's excessive loading onto the lateral border. And the fifth toe, they're not robust like the big toe. So they're going to have a little bit more, not as good of tolerance to that sort of stress. So we're pressing through the big toe, heel lifts. Now we can start to add a little bit of a, what do I call this? A twist to it. So if we're working on a heel lift and a little bit of a lateral shift one way, and then up and over to the other side. So oftentimes when I'm coaching people up on these, I'll mention we want to go up and over the arch space, up and over. So our heels come up off the ground, up and over the arch to the other side, and then up and over the other to the other side of the arch. Up and overs. This is a good way to kind of work on the calves and the foot, but also incorporate a little bit of a different direction of motion. So a different way of thinking about foot stability and kind of engagement with the ground. So now from here, what we can do is we got the foot going, we got the big toe integrated a little bit. Now we're gonna put ourselves into a position that looks like walking. So we're gonna, if our right side is kind of the main focus, we're gonna bring that right side into that back position, making sure that our foot is oriented straight, like stuff that we've talked about in the past. And then we're gonna have that big toe kind of firmly pressed into the ground, and then we're just gonna do heel lifts, up and back down. Making sure that at this point, we're probably thinking a little bit more of like 70% push through that back foot. So we're getting into a position that looks like walking and where we need to be thinking about springing and pushing off as we're walking forward. We can get into that position and really kind of work on retraining and re-strengthening our foot and ankle in that position. Okay. And then from here, split stance heel raises, single leg balance toe taps. So getting starting to think about the foot as not just being strong, but also having good endurance and awareness. So anytime we're thinking about single leg activity or balance or things like that, again, making sure that we're honest with ourselves and being close to something, kitchen countertop, the back of a chair, or something like that, if we feel like we're at risk for falling, or if this is something that's completely new to you, make sure you're close to something. But I'm going to demonstrate here on my left foot. So if I'm working on left foot strength and endurance with the single leg balance, I want to find that neutral foot. I'm going to engage the big toe. And then from there, we're going to work in our three planes of motion. We're going to start with a forwards and backwards, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And as we're working, we should kind of feel the arch space engaging. The muscles are working inside of there. The big toe is pressed into the ground. As I reach forward, I should feel my knee bend just a little bit, and I'm probably going to feel the ankle stretch just a little bit as we were stretching earlier. And then as I reach back, the knee's still going to bend, but you're probably going to feel a little bit more load kind of back into your back hip here. So a side view, forwards and backwards. Now from here, we're going to transition into lateral taps. So all the same rules apply for our foot, but now what we're going to do is we're going to reach out towards 3 o'clock and then across to 9 o'clock. Big toe is recruited. I feel my arch space working. Now the thing that might be a little bit different with this variation is you may feel your arch kind of collapse a little bit and then come back up. So if I'm going lateral here to 3 o'clock, I'm probably going to feel my arch space drop just a little bit because my weight shifted that way. And now as I bring my foot across, I'm going to feel my arch space kick back up. This is normal. We should notice that that's happening and making sure that we're trying to control that motion side to side. It's not about stopping the motion, it's about controlling it. So that's our lateral direction. And then our third one is rotation, where we're going to take our right side and we're going to toe tap across our body. So we kind of spin around and then we're going to spin back around this way. Again, all the same rules apply. My big toe is engaged, my arch is working. As I spin this way, I may feel my arch collapse a little bit. As I spin across this way, my arch is going to rise just a little bit. Doesn't take many of these, 5 or 6 of each. And if you're just kind of hitting them one after another, just my demonstration right now, I can feel my foot working and it started to get tired. I was about ready to get off of it and switch to the other side. So go ahead and give those a try. From here, we're going to go ahead and start to transition up the chain into the knee and kind of start to talk about what do we typically see with the knee, what are things that we need to be talking about and considering when it comes to the foot, how that starts to play with the knee a little bit, and then how we can work on those things.